In continuing with my list of my top 30 favorite TV shows of all time, we now come to number 25 on the list, a show that I haven't talked about as much in the last couple of years. I mean, right at its peak time, when we were putting the site together and all that, I've had posts talking about this show in general, but I hadn't watched it for a long period of time. But now the show's now 5 years after it's ended, I want to go back and check the show out again to see if it holds up. Because I did like it back then to be in my favorite TV shows of all time, and I can say that it has definitely held up well over time. Number 25 on my list of my favorite TV shows of all time, we have Modern Family. And right away, you can see a lot of similarities to some other of my favorite TV shows that we'll eventually get to here. But this is a comedy, a family sitcom, which is set around this three diverse but interrelated families set up and living in suburban Los Angeles. You have three different types of families: a nuclear family, a blended family, and a same-sex family. One of them is one of them. The patriarch of the family is Jay, played by Ed O'Neill from Married with Children, who marries the much younger woman, Gloria, played by Sofia Vergara. And this was back when they were really trying to push Sofia Vergara as kind of like the next big comedy star. They were putting all these different TV shows, and it didn't really work out well. And this was really the big breakout for her, and eventually it led to her kind of establishing her career in general. But you also have a regular family in Claire Dunphy, played by Julie Bowen from Happy Gilmore, and you also have her husband Phil, played by Ty Burrell, who at that time the show was coming on, you had seen him in something like The Incredible Hulk. And also they have three kids of their own, played by Sarah Hyland, Ariel Winter, and Nolan Gold. And the final family, the same-sex couple, is Jay's son Mitchell, played by Jesse Tyler Ferguson, and his husband, played by Eric Stonestreet. Which is very funny because Jesse Tyler Ferguson in particular is seen as kind of like the straight man of the gay couple, but he's actually the one that's gay, and Eric Stonestreet is definitely the straight guy in real life. Like, I think it plays with the expectations a little bit, and that's what I really kind of liked about that. And I'm not gonna lie, the first couple of seasons overall, I really did enjoy, and yeah, I thought the third season was kind of not great overall, but like I said back in the day, like I thought, there was a time when people thought I actually hated the show. I never hated the show in general, but I felt like when it won its fourth Emmy in a row for Outstanding Comedy Series, I felt like there were much better shows that should have won that award in general. But that being said, I never really had any problems with the show whatsoever. In fact, far from it. I really do think this is a very funny show that actually did get better in the seasons that I completely missed out on. I mean, this is a show that I used to watch whenever I was working late at work, and we had a cable TV back in the break room, and Modern Family would be on Wednesday nights, and I figured I'll go on my break, watch this, and then get back to work after that. And then once the TV situation got changed over, and so did our break room situation, I didn't really catch up with the show as much as I usually did, and I kind of missed out on the last couple of seasons. And it's been on TV the last couple of years. TBS has been putting it on there. So has Nickelodeon, I think, with Nick at Night. But I'm glad I got a chance to rewatch it again, because honestly, the show actually kind of finds its way back, starting with season 7. The fact that everybody grows up in the 11 years that the show has been on the air, I think is very fascinating to watch, because at first you can't really tell. One of the great things about the first episode in general is that it does play, again, it plays with your expectations, because you follow these three different families, and it's not revealed until towards the end that they all are part of the same family in general. That's something I never caught on with me when the first time I saw it, but watching it again later on, you can definitely see the times when, okay, you can see where this is coming into play here. You can see why these two would be connected to the main family in general. And the great thing about the show is that they all have really solid characters that you do get behind. You do like every single one of these characters. There's not somebody that you think is kind of like a jerk or anything like that, or somebody that you don't really want to be attached to. I mean, these are really, really interesting and fun characters that you want to be around all the time. And I think that it helps that you have a solid, strong cast of great talents all across the board here to make it work. I mean, this is a show that really does a fantastic job of its casting, its comedy, the way it's put together. It's a show that distances itself from other shows of the mockumentary type that we're going to get to later on in this list, that I think are done. That I really think that are obviously the true standouts of this type of a genre in general. But like I said, man, as the series goes on, there is a little bit of a nice little reappraisal of it that you will look at in the last couple of seasons. Because like I said, I kind of stopped watching it regularly towards around seasons 5 and 6. Not because of the show itself, but just because I just let it get past me overall, and I never really had the urge to go back and watch it again afterwards. But when the show finally came out on DVD, I had a chance to catch up with the final seasons. And I gotta say, man, the way the show wraps up is very well done. I like the fact that everybody does grow into these characters where you can buy them being related to these people. Like, for example, like, you know, Julie Bowen's kids, Sarah Hyland and Ariel Winter. Like, Sarah Hyland in particular, I think kind of gets underappreciated for her work in the later seasons of the show, but she was really making me laugh a lot during the last couple of seasons. I do like the fact that the more you see her later on down the road, you can definitely tell she's getting a lot of her mother's mannerisms and way she does things in this performance while also being her own individual person. And that's what I really appreciated about this show in general, and how the fact that you can, as the time goes on, you really do feel the connection between everybody in this family, and it just works really well to the show's advantage. It's a really, really good show that really got a lot better in more ways than I could have possibly imagined. There is a little bit of a lull between seasons 3 and 4, 3 to 6, honestly. But when season 7 starts up, and then the rest of the series goes on after that, that's when the show really picked it up again for me. Like I said, none of these seasons are bad in particular. I just think the first 2 seasons are really good, and then seasons 7 through 11, I think, are really the strongest seasons overall of the show. But regardless, a show that ran on for 11 years and never really felt like they missed a beat on any way, shape, or form. It's a show that still is really, really funny, even after all these years. It's very clever, really funny stuff. It's a really good show, and one I definitely recommend you go out and check this out again. Modern Family is one of my favorite comedies of all time. Number 25 on my list of my favorite TV shows of all time, Modern Family. So with that said, thanks for watching this, and I will see you guys next week for number 24. But if you want to hear what I had to say about the last show I talked about, Dilbert, check out the video in the corner, check out the playlist below, and I'll see you guys next week.